Good morning or afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our December product update webinar. I'm Rosalie, your host for today, and joining me as well is our CEO, Yannick. Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello, Rosalie. Hi, everyone. Happy to be here. Last one of the year.
All right, I see some people are still coming in. Let's get to our first slide. Perfect. So I will be hosting the webinar today. We have Yannick, our CEO, and we also have Natalie that is in the chat today. Today is we're gonna have a lot of things that we want to cover. So please participate as much as you can. Participate in our polls. It helps us know what you're thinking. You can use the React button at the very bottom as well. And you can ask questions in the Q&A or in the chat. And let's get started with our very first our very first poll. Let's all right. All right, sorry. Is this your first client webinar? Yes, no, I'm a regular. No, I've been to a couple, so just take a few seconds to answer that. And in terms of what's on our agenda, while I let people answer, yeah, perfect. So we're gonna cover major features and improvement. We're gonna do a little demo for all of them. We're gonna show you our product roadmap, talk about your ideas that were voted, and then we're gonna dedicate a portion of the webinar to 2026 sneak peek. So we're gonna show you the project agent, the Snap Workspace, and the Jira integration, all on today's webinar. So make sure you stay all the way to the very end. Perfect. And thank you for answering. It looks like half the people that are joining today are first-time webinar attendants.
Oh,
So
that's
welcome,
great.
everybody.
Welcome, everyone.
All right, perfect. All right, so today, please pay special attention. You will hear us mention upgrade considerations, which means when you see a new feature that has an upgrade consideration, you have to turn on something, add a button, change a setting for the admin to do that. On this release, so 50.9, we have 4 upgrade consideration. We will talk about them afterwards, but we share a presentation after, so you can always go back. Today, we will be covering a lot of different functionalities. We have the full list here, so we'll talk a little bit Project Workspace Task Panel, my timesheet, resource planning, my deadline, and we'll end with the QuickBook functionality. So Yannick, shall we jump into it?
Yes, we have a ton to show. So let me jump in the first three. So we're going to be looking at the mass update fields in the workspace, plus the task side panel, and after that, the read-only access to the project workspace. And we're going to jump right in a project. And now in the workspace, you are able to select multiple line and change the value of a fields with a single click. So for the ease of use, you can just right click in a column when you multi-select with the control button of your keyboard. And you can see here we have a mass update milestone payment value. So I can update to for asking for $10,000 for each one of those milestones. And you can see that they all been updated. I can go ahead, I can, for example, select those 3 tasks here. You can do shift or you can do control, right click again and update the percentage complete. So I'm 80% complete on those tasks. And I can even update dates. So my due date, let's go ahead and update my due dates. I'm going to be done a bit earlier. So let me just go ahead and change dates. And depending on dependency, they're going to readjust. And I might have an error. I might be going too fast. You can also do the things I've shown it on the currency fields, on percentage complete field. You can also do it on the next step, which is a text field. So you can update text field as well. So waiting for customer or maybe validation. So let me just save that. And you can even update also checkboxes. So for example, billable and non-billable. The only 2 kind of fields that you cannot update for now are the rich text area. So the description field, for example, the one that have HTML and a rich text concept of bold and those things, and the lookup fields. Those are the 2 that you're not able to update at this point. So gain of efficiency, Rosalie, right?
I think since I started at Client, I've been asking for the bulk updates. So I'm so happy it finally got delivered, especially the time one. Historically, you can drag the timeline on the right, but being able to bulk update the dates is incredible.
Perfect. So this is the first of the three topic. The next
Yep.
one is the task side panel. Task side panel from the and this is a new feature we introduced in 2025. That task indicator that's telling you which one are overdue with that red circle, but also which tasks do have times logged on it or checklist item that needs to be completed. And as you can see, just going to jump into that task and look at my checklist. And you can see that we've updated here with some cool indicator that's telling you how many open checklists there is for that specific task. But also on the time side of things, you can see that there's 3.5 hours that's been logged. We've also updated and created that modern look that we are doing pretty much across the platform. So updated a little bit the look and feels of some of those tabs, including the schedule tab with some headers, but also you can now sort. So you can sort by the different columns, and you can sort pretty much all the table the same way if they have some value, including those search here that you have for the display resources. With, let's say you want to search by the available hours, you are able to do all of this. So we've improved those tabs in the task panel. We're going to continue with some of the other one. This one has been beautified as well.
Yeah, and just out of curiosity, because I know not all the customers are using the task side panel, so we're just curious to see if you're using the task side panel all the time, sometimes never, have no idea what we're talking about. There are other ways to get to that information, but we were just curious. And I think, yeah, the task indicators, if you've never heard or seen those, by the way, just make sure you probably don't have that column, so just add it to your workspace view and make sure you saved it as a preset. Perfect. Okay, it looks like most people I've heard are using the task
Yeah.
side panel.
If you're using the workspace, usually you are aware of that task panel. The options may vary depending on how you're set up, but it's all this. Next one, was it?
Yeah. So the next one, yeah, really nice. So public project workspace, read-only external access. That one is like snuck into that release, but a very exciting one. So anyone that want to share their project timeline with their customers, you can now share a read-only project workspace externally. And Yannick is going to show you how to do that and what it looks like. So
Exactly. So there is a couple of steps that you need to follow in our release notes. They're well defined. I've read them this morning, and you need to create a site, and if you don't already have one, and then link it. And then on the page layout, you're gonna have two new fields. So public project workspace, where you're gonna have a URL, and then you have a public project preset that's going to define which preset is going to be used. The concept here is, let me open it up so you understand what we're showing. So it's exposing our workspace with the presets you want in a read-only way. And this is a unique URL. And actually, I should have done the demo by right-clicking and doing open in incognito mode. So you don't need to be logged in to see that workspace, and you cannot do anything with it. You can change maybe the months and the way you're looking at things and zoom in, zoom out, but you cannot change any of the data within. So this is the public project workspace. So for people that don't have a customer community, or if you want to share just a project to someone external, you can just go ahead and share it, and you'll see that just by changing the preset, so any preset that you have access in the system, if you just change it to, let's say I'm going to take this one, the timeline customer. Let's say I just want to show solely the timeline and no grid. I can just by updating it, now you can see that I don't have my grid on the left side anymore. I only have that that timeline showing. So the concept is that you can use those as a URL and send it via email. So if you're using activity in Salesforce, this is a merge field you can take and easily send it. You can send it once, the URL won't change. So you can send it once at the beginning of a project. And you can, as well, depending on the project type, you can define which preset you want to share. Or after that, the project manager might want to even change the preset himself. So he can do it. You can do that as well.
yeah. And especially relevant if you're already using the export function on the workspace and you're already familiar with like you're already exporting the screenshot and then sending it via email. This is just like one probably better way because that sharing is live. So any update, you don't have to reshare that project. Like you don't have to export it every time.
Or it's can be also a bit dangerous, as you said it. It's live. So yeah. This being said, is very useful. A lot of customers were asking for that, so this has been better. There's going to be some upgrade to it in the next release, so I would recommend maybe waiting for the next release. There's going to be fine tuning for that one, but we said we decided still to demo it today. But there's small tweak happening in the next next.
And just another neat one we sneaked in while we're talking about Workspace. We just added project owner. You can now display the project owner column in the global workspace. So historically, the assignee column, the person that was in orange was the owner, but it's not always 100% obvious who that person is. So you can now add that column in your global workspace.
And in this example, it's worse than anything.
Especially there's no image.
But the idea is that it's you can see it's a mix of project and task. So there's a new merge column called owner. So it's showing whatever it's you're looking at a project, showing the project owner, and if it's a task, it's showing the task owner.
Yep.
Good. Another one that was top of the list, right?
Yeah, that was like one of the most voted ideas. We finally delivered it. Hopefully, I already know some customers that tested it and are using it. So
perfect.
Yeah.
So the concept is that a month can spread across several across 2 weeks, so across a single week. So for example, if we look at our timesheet and if we go back in September, I have to go back in September to find this, but you can see that the month of September, Monday, Tuesday is on September, and then October for Wednesday, Thursday. The problem we had in the past is that sometimes you want to approve just a full timesheet and you cannot approve it because there's a mix between those 2 months. So the team has developed a neat functionality that's going to simplify the work. So if I just put some hours here across my different days and I just save, oops, and I just save, what it's gonna do is gonna take and when the setting is enabled, so this is important, you need to have a setting enabled. So don't worry if you don't want that behavior to happen, it won't happen by default. You need to have the setting, and you can see it's splitted my lines in two. So one for the month of September and the other one for October. Those one, it says as well, it's small, but it says that it's different to another month, so you cannot add hours in here. You can always come in here and change the number of hours until you submit it if you needed to. So this is a really simple fix for a problem or some issue that people had for approving and for reporting on data. So this was top of the list on the idea community, so we're happy that we've delivered it in a pretty good.
You're welcome. That's what we say.
Good. Going back to the deck.
Resource planning.
Resource planning. Okay, so this is something we're going to be introducing across the platform. So it's for adoption. It's for your new users. If when we're introducing new functionality, it's a coach mark. So we're giving you some information and trying to coach you on best practices. The first one that's going to be shown is that on the resource planner. So if you don't have any preset, we're going to tell you to create one, and we're going to link to our articles, knowledge articles. Don't show again if you don't want to see it again. If you have a preset, you should not see it either. This being said, we're going to be introducing those. We have some that will come on the timesheet. We have a new release of a timesheet, and most likely on the Project Snap, we're going to see those going to be introduced as well. User adoption is the key.
Yeah, if you have new people on your team as well.
Going pretty quickly, but we have a lot to show at the end. So presets on my deadline.
This is one we got a lot of, the moment we released my deadlines, my work, like we had so many questions already about like, can we have the preset? Can we have the preset?
So we have presets everywhere in the system. So it was just a question of time of when we're going to be introducing that preset on the deadlines interface. So you can see now that we have that preset button. You can, same concept as everywhere else. You can save and create a new one. You can rename it. And you can see, for example, I've created one that's showing just my key account. So that my deadline's just for my key account. And you can see that the filter is now being applied, and my filter is for the account Acme and Play Around. So it's just filtering for those two. So now I can see. So depending on what is open, it's going to remember some of those settings on top of that filter. We're going to be adding more stuff on top, such as the sorting of columns that's not stored on the preset yet, but this is going to come in the next few release. For now, it's mainly used for the filtering, so really able to, and next time I'm going to come back, it's going to remember, so it's going to load back my key account, so I don't need to removing some clicks for the users.
Yep.
Simple enough.
Yep.
Okay.
Last one.
And the other one, we've been regular on our upgrades on the accounting connectors. This one is to sync now the bill object from QuickBooks. So in the QuickBooks, there's purchase object, which is quite often some credit card transaction, and you have some bill, which sometimes are make, for example, external consultant that will invoice you. So that might be more on the account payable side of things. So now we're syncing those and creating expenses linked to it. And there's the procedure to follow if you want this to be enabled. It's in the integration details, and you can decide from when you want to sync. And after that, it's going to be syncing automatically.
Perfect. Well, that's it for our new functionalities. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to launch a quick poll. Just curious to know of all the functionalities we just demoed, which one you're most excited about. And also, we just want to know, did you already upgrade? Are you planning to upgrade? And as always, we also have this page in our presentation that includes all the improvements and fixes. You can access our release notes directly, and you have a full breakdown with a description for each one of those. And yeah, so I'm just leaving a couple more minutes.
There's cool things in there, like it's all small liners, but there's like, for example, now we support queues for projects. So if you have that concept inside your environment, so there's still some cool stuff in those one-liner.
Oh, well, I think everybody answered that the most exciting one is the mass update fields, which isn't surprising. I think the workspace is used by most customers. So, all right. Thanks, everybody, for answering. Okay, so moving on to our next section. As always, your feedback shapes where we're going next. So let's move to the next slide. Perfect. Okay. So right now, again, we're talking about the ideas on every webinar, but from our community on the ideas tab, you can see a bunch of ideas that are open for voting for customers. Some of the ones we mentioned earlier, the features came from that list. So this month we retained 2 ideas that were on that list and now have been added to our roadmap. So we have the enhanced project visibility in Resource Planner, which is going to be released in December, well, at the end of December, so in the next release. That has to do with displaying the project names directly in the Resource Planner. And then the second one, the display, sometimes the name are not super clear, but display multi-select pick list as checkbox in new project page. This has to do when you're creating your project at the very beginning, just making it easy to select different options. So having the checkbox there.
Clear is just very long as a title.
Yeah, it's already super long. And that one will be on the next version. And if you have any ideas, feature requests, be sure to email our team. They may make the list here eventually, and then we pick those to add to our roadmap. And if we go to the next screen.
Yeah, and we're looking closely at this one here, the flexible work schedule. And thank you, Rosalie, for not putting me on the spot, but we're looking closely at this one. It's the top voted one, but it involves a lot of change on the back end. So not necessarily a lot of change, but a lot of effort.
All right. And then at any time you can look at our product roadmap, which is the other tab next to the ideas tab. You can see with the little arrows, those are the 2 ideas I just mentioned, and you can see they have been added to the roadmap, which means they are happening. And then in blue, it's the things that are coming on the next release. So we have in the My Timesheet, if you had a call with me recently, I talked about the Outlook sync to every customer, but we believe the Google Calendar and the Outlook is coming at the end of the month. So if you are Outlook user, stay tuned for that. We have a couple more My Timesheet improvements that we made as well. Some Workspace, Kanban, and then the last two we will talk about next. But yeah, anytime you can consult our roadmap from our community. So speaking of the bottom two ideas, we're moving on to our next section, which is giving you a sneak peek of what's coming up in 2026. So there's three major functionalities that are coming. We have the Client Project Agent that is coming on our next release, which is December 29th-ish. The Jira Time Tracker, the Time Tracker on Jira, also on the same release. And we have the Snap Workspace that will be coming at the end of January.
Just to be we're targeting December for this official release of the project agents because we like transparency, but it's going to be a January
It's
official.
December 29th, so then it means like when everybody is back from the holidays. Let's put it that way. And for the next portion, really important. These are like things that are not in the product yet. They are like finalized, or we're finalizing the build, or there's still things we can improve. So be sure to like use the reaction button, use the chats if you have like comments, questions, etc. And yeah, so let's get started with the agent, Yannick.
Yeah, let's start with our project agent. So we've been talking about how where we're going with AI. So a platform where we're gonna always be leading, and but we're gonna have agent helping us. So this is what we've discussed in the past. It's where we stand. We are customer zero, so we're trying everything on us first before releasing anything for you guys. We've been developing with AI for quite a time now. We've released Clara, our support agent, recently. And now today we're announcing and we're going to be releasing in January officially our client agents. Our first one will be the project agent. I saw a demo last week of our hybrid delivery. So having agent assigned on our task and agent delivering tasks them by themselves. So we're close to that to eventually go to helping you deliver a project even more smoothly with autonomous project delivery. So this is our roadmap where we stand. I think we have a poll, and I'm very curious. I know several, because we looking at the stats, several customers are using Clara, our support agent we've talked about the other time. Do we have a poll, Rosalie, on it?
Not a poll, but we're just curious if you have used her. Like let us know in the chat or send us a message. We're always keen for feedback because we keep on improving her. So yeah,
Yeah, so we're improving on tree side. We're improving the source documentation, then the understanding of questions, so instructions. So yes, please provide feedback. I think it's proving value. It's not 100% perfect yet, but definitely proving value. And what we're announcing today and what we're going to be showing today, it's our first client agent. It's based on the Agentforce platform, and you're going to be able to purchase this from us, from Client. And the goal is that based on that secure and trust platform, Salesforce, we're going to be able to have agent doing project work for you. And let's start with a demo and see how it goes. And we'll see how the agent can help you out. So I'm sure in the happen to everyone, like the sales team comes with to you on the delivery side and said, hey, I sold that, and it's coming from an Excel document, and it's not yet a project template, and you told them to use the template, but they still did it in Excel. But now what you can do is that you can take that, you can talk to our project agent, and I'm just going to paste that CSV file. And I've already pre-written in my questionnaire, so we're gonna my prompt here, so we're gonna read it together. So create a project name, Go Project Go, using the following grid for task. Add the column P, PC, and exec. If I'm just going back to the document, you can see that they had 3 columns for 3 roles with number of hours. I add also a start and end date columns in here. So add the column PM, PC, exec to get the estimated hour of the task, and write a non-agile description in the description field. Told you we're a customer zero, right? So our team developed first for that. So we're writing like a project manager and as a project, so non-agile description. And then this is it. Usually it takes around 40 seconds to a minute. So let's look at other few use cases we have identified and that you can ask for. Rosalie, you want me to read it or?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, so we have a couple of things and there's more. These are just like examples. So weekly sprint planning, you can ask the agent to show you all your high priority tasks for a specific project for a specific week. You could also ask questions that are related to time entry. So show me time entries for this specific project. It can tell you the logged hours, billable status, rates, all that information. And then when it comes to resource allocation, like who's assigned to this specific task, and then can tell you what the role is, the allocation percentage, etc. Let's see.
So we have the results. So 20, I like to look at time. We're gonna play on this, but 20 is 58. So like a little bit less than a minute. So he created that project and task. This is a beta version, so we don't have clickable URL. But let me just open up that new project that he created, our project agent created. So it's gonna load me in that project. And if you notice at the end, I was asking a description, right? So just from that, from the understanding of our project, it created a project description automatically. Then if I open up the workspace, you're going to see that the agent within 50 seconds created all my different tasks. It properly did all the total of hours and the assignment. Without me saying anything, he figured out the start and due date. So he already planned everything in time. And on top, he also included a description for each one of my tasks and created that description that can at least be a good basis for me to come and modify it. So this is the kind of thing that our project agent is able to do right now, and that's going to be available to you in January. Plus all the other use case that Rosalie mentioned. For now, you saw me calling it from an interface from a one page. This is going to be available as well through Slack. So you're going to be able to call it and talk to it through Slack and other means. Pretty impressive. We're still tweaking it and they're still making mistakes, but it's pretty impressive what you can get and what you can do with it. Hopefully you guys will like it.
Definitely faster than if you would have created a project live on this webinar. All right. So if you are interested in knowing more about the project agent and you want to be part of our first group of users, we have an exclusive offer for you. So if you buy 100,000 Flex credits, which costs $500, you get 250 credits, 50,000 free credits on top of that. So all that you're paying 500, but you're getting worth 1,750 worth of credits. So really nice. All you need to do is like sign up before the end of the year. What I'll do is I'll also launch a little poll just to gauge interest. Please take a second to answer it if you are interested, because after today's webinar, I will send a follow-up email for people interested in the agent. So just let us know if you want to sign up ASAP, you're interested, but you cannot commit yet. It's complicated. I don't know your situation or you're not interested. And again, if you have questions after today's webinar as well, it's a lot to digest, but you can always email us afterwards.
So the goal here is really we made it accessible so we can really try it in 2026. So if you plan to try AI with Klient in 2026, I absolutely recommend you guys to benefit from this offer and just invest that $500. Those credits are going to be good with all our agents, and they're going to be good across the entire 2026. So if you plan to just try it, that's going to be the best offer we're going to have. The idea here is we're not making pretty much any money out of it. We just want to get it out there for you guys to try and testing and help us evolve it. So it's available for pre-order and it's going to be shipped in January.
And in that email follow-up, we'll include like what the agent can currently do, and we're really keen to know like what else you'd like it to do on top of that, because we're all about that collaboration for this portion of it. All right, thanks for answering the polls. If you didn't manage to answer the poll, but you're still interested, just reach out to me after. All right.
Next one, and we've been introducing new products as per se, and add-ons. So that's one of our first add-on in a long time, the Agentforce one. The other one is this one, Time Tracker for Jira. So for people that using Klient and Jira and would like the developer to have a way to easily enter their time against client tasks, we have that time tracker for Jira that is now available. It's going to be a 2 screenshot for today. We're going to be doing a live demo next year. So those are just preview of 2026, right? This one though is the time tracker is already available. We also have a sync component, so it's going to be able to sync project from client to Jira and from Jira to client, and syncing the issue in both ways as well with some parameters. So this way, it's going to simplify the work for those of you that are using Jira to have one place to look at project data in client, including actuals, schedules, and it's going to simplify the work of your developer for logging their time. So if you're interested in this as well, Rosalie has been talking about it during their customer success call. But yes, please do reach out for this offer as well.
Yeah, we'll be sending a separate email for that as well. So we just have a quick poll if you're using Jira or not, because if you're not, then you don't care about that. And then if you're interested in time tracker, anyone that says yes or maybe, I'll send a follow-up about that. And then if we can just drop, Natalie, the link, we have an actual page where you can read more about that time tracker. The link is in the slide, but we'll drop it in the chat as well. All right, thanks for answering. And let's move on to our next one, the Snap Workspace. That's Yannick's personal pet project for the last weeks. We've had a lot of internal demos about it already, but now it's finally ready to be demoed out in the wild. And just to mention, there's no extra fee for this, so it's like part of the product. So when you upgrade and it's in the release, you'll just be able to start using it. So yeah, if you've created your projects, you have milestones, you scheduled your resources, which you should, the resources have been logging their time, and then your project is ongoing and you're looking for like more specific data. This is what this workspace is for. So Yannick, do you want to show us what it does?
Yeah, this is the glue that's putting everything together. So it's everything that you always wanted to see your project, not in 2D, not in 3D, but in 4D. This is it. So like you said, it's my pet project. It's my Christmas gift to you guys, our customer, before time. So the concept here is that we have a Snap Workspace. So you're taking snapshot of your project to look at the story of your project. And you know that Salesforce reporting, there is some limitation. This is to circumvent all those limitations and really dig deep into your project. So we have a concept of Snap, of Project Snap and Resource Snap. So you're going to be able to create some snapshots of your project, and you're going to be able to plot those projects. So those projects within our interface. You can see that by selecting a project, it gives me a list here of KPIs, so key performance indicator, including, for example, if the project is on track. You will see as well that we can group and plot different projects at the same time in this, and having some indicator as well that, you can see that we had 3 overdue milestones. So it's just not something for the past, it's something that you can act on. We are introducing new performance indicator and new things that are going to help you understand if you're on track or not. And you can see here that we have some pills or some cards that's showing you where you differ between your plan, your schedule, your log, and your invoice, because this is what it is about. You can see as well, we're missing the estimated part. So there's going to be phase 2 with the kind of this task snap that's coming in a later phase. So far it's interesting, right? But I'm guessing everybody is looking more for this portion here, which is the graphic component. So being able to plot, in this case, our schedule versus log, schedule being in dash and the full line is the log. And you can easily see your project within that lens. But what you want to see is quite often it's other layer. So you want to see what's been invoiced as well. So you can add other dimensions. So you can see when the hour got invoiced for in hours, but maybe you want to see them in cash. Let me do something here. Let me put it full screen. So maybe I want to see it in cash instead. Now you can see I have another axis on the right that showed. So I can see my logged even hours in cash. Maybe I want to see my costs, my log costs, and all this can be date sensitive, so I can filter out across my dates. Okay, so let me reset my filters. And now maybe what I'm interested in going back to what's schedule versus log, actual versus schedule. So maybe I want to see my variances, but this is giving me a great area to see, but maybe I want to see it in another lens with a bar chart to see how far I am for my target. I might want to add some labels. This is something we're going to improve. The numbers are very small, but I want to maybe I want to show labels. I want to hide or show my milestone across my project. We even have a FTE graph that we're working on. So full-time effort per employee across your project. You can see it in the schedule lenses or in the log lenses. I'm gonna take question after. Different ways of looking at your data. So like if you want to see it with the steps, or maybe if you prefer a dark mode, so improving that one as well, and you will be able to export it. So all this, it's from that specific multi-layer look that we're looking at, that we're talking about. But we have other level as well. So this one is called the heat map. So you can see for this project that I've selected in my snap. So I'm looking now at that. I was looking at that Acme project here. I can see now a resource heat map of if they were on track in terms of their utilization of hours log versus schedule. I can have it grouped by resource, but I can have it grouped by role or even by task. I can group it the way I want it. Let me go by resource. But what's cool too is that we have an aggregation, so you can see it by month, or if you can see it by quarter, so you can have like grouping instead of smaller increments. So it's give another perspective. So I have all of this, plus you have other dimension, including the logged hours and other dimensions. We have here estimated versus log, or schedule versus log in a bar chart format, but also you can look at it with different angles, so the resource angle or the role angle overall in your project. Something we add in reports and dashboard, but we're trying to put everything in there. Utilization again, so you can smooth your utilization curve, and we have variation. So looking at what was scheduled versus what got logged and the variation of it across your entire project or the data lens you're looking into. So that's what the Snap Workspace and the Snap visualization tool does. Hopefully you guys see some value to it. It's a lot. I've been talking a lot.
It's a lot. Maybe you want to rewatch that portion of the webinar afterwards in a more calm setting, or share it with your team. One thing we do want to know, just out of curiosity, based on the demo that Yannick did, do you think you'll be using the Snap Workspace? Absolutely. I'm not sure. No, it's okay. Like there's a lot in there and we'll talk about it again on the webinar when we do release it in January. So stay tuned for that. And from what you've seen, if you like after digesting, you have some questions, feel free to email us like, oh, is it going to do this and that? Am I going to be able to see this information? Just send your question to us. That's no worries.
And one thing I forgot to mention, Rosalie, because it's about the story of your project. So now I'm looking at my latest snap about my log versus schedule. So this one is tracking pretty good. My L score is not too bad. But what I can do is that I can compare it against my baseline. So you can see now that small blue dot here. This is my baseline, so I can compare it. And you can see as well that there's a lot of information in the other pills. But when there's a data point, you can even click and you can see the details of what happened across the board. So those are also like on a hidden gem that you can easily see and click. So there's other place you can click with the added value and added dimension. So
have you shown the view that is showing the today and you're seeing the future? I don't know if you've shown
that. I'm not sure if my project is working well for this one.
But that's one thing that's pretty cool about this now. You can choose which time frame it's selecting, but
so you see, for example, this is my log hours, my solid one. This is my schedule, and based on my different indicators, I'm not sure if it forecasts my future logged hours as well. So that small dot, it's a forecasted a future based on my schedule with so there's a math to it, but very interesting.
That was my favorite one. I think the little section there. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. So yeah, so stay tuned for the Project Agent follow-up email, the Jira follow-up email for this step. We're not going to have a follow-up email, but if you talk to me or support, you can always ask questions about it, as I mentioned. In terms of next step, yeah, so speaking of the next year as well, we will be continuing to host our monthly product update webinars. You have the dates for the upcoming one, so you can put on your calendar January 22nd. It's always going to be Thursday at 11 a.m. EST. We don't have the registration link yet, but in the January newsletters, we'll share that, and we usually send invitation before as well. And you can always access all our previous webinars and upcoming webinars from the website there on the screenshot you can see. If you can please take a moment to answer our webinar feedback poll, it would be really appreciated. This is our last webinar of the year. Also, I see there's a lot of people, it's their first webinar, so we're really keen to know what you think of these. We can adapt the format always. And otherwise, I want to wish everybody a happy new year. And Yannick, did you want to add anything?
Oh, hopefully you're gonna have a great break if you have the opportunity to take some time off. So I wish you all the best. And if you can just answer that feedback, it would be appreciated. All your feedback is always welcome, so we can always adjust. Thank you, Rosalie.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. I will stop the recording and wait a couple of seconds more for you to finalize the webinar feedback. So have a great day.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.